So the investigation of UFOs has also attracted many civilians who in the U.S. formed research groups such as NICAP, Aerial Phenomena Research Organization, APRO, MUFON, and so on. I'll see I don't know if people who follow this stuff. They invent conspiracy theories with no evidence. In November 2011, the White House released an official response to 2 petitions asking the U.S. government to acknowledge formally that aliens have visited this planet and to disclose any intentional withholding of government interactions with extraterrestrial beings. Sounds like some movie producer. According to the response, the U.S. government has no evidence that any life exists outside our planet or that an extraterrestrial presence has contacted or engaged any member of the human race. Also, according to the response, there is no credible information to suggest that any evidence is being hidden from the public's eye. The response further noted that efforts like SETI, and NASA's Kepler Space Telescope and Mars Science Laboratory continue looking for signs of life. The response noted, odds are pretty high that there may be life on other planets, but the odds of us making contact with any of them, especially any intelligent ones, are extremely small. How does that make any sense? Why they're high? You don't have any evidence that they are, given the distance involved. What are the odds? They don't provide evidence. Post-1947 sightings. Following the large U.S. surge in sightings in June and early July 1947, on July 9, 1947, U.S. Air Force Intelligence, in cooperation with the FBI, began a formal investigation into selected sightings with characteristics that could not be immediately rationalized, such as Kenneth Arnold's ones. The USAAF used all of its top scientists to determine whether such a phenomenon could in fact occur. The research was being conducted with the thought that the flying objects might be a celestial phenomenon or that they might be a foreign body mechanically devised and controlled. 3 weeks later, in a preliminary defense estimate, the Air Force investigation decided, 3 weeks, just 3 weeks, decided that this flying saucer situation is not all imaginary or seeing too much in some natural phenomena. Something is really flying around. A further review by the Intelligence and Technical Divisions of the Air Materiel Command at Wright Field reached the same conclusion. It reported that the phenomenon is something real and not visionary or fictitious. Okay. And there were disc-shaped objects, metallic in appearance, as big as man-made aircraft. Guess what? Hughes Aircraft had some flying saucers out there, but they weren't very maneuverable. And they were highly secretive. Other things too, like weather balloons. But they were characterized by extreme rates of climb and maneuverability. All right. General lack of noise, absence of a trail, occasional formation flying, and evasive behavior when sighted or contacted by friendly aircraft and radar, suggesting a controlled craft. It was therefore recommended in late September 1947 that an official Air Force investigation be set up. It was also recommended that other government agencies should assist in the investigation. Way back then. Anything new? No. Project Sign. This led to the creation of the Air Force's Project Sign at the end of 1947, one of the earliest government studies to come to a secret extraterrestrial conclusion. Secret. In August 1948, Sign investigators wrote the top-secret intelligence estimate to that effect, but the Air Force Chief of Staff, Hoyt Vandenberg, ordered it destroyed. The existence of this suppressed report was revealed by several insiders who had read it, such as astronomer and U.S. Air Force consultant J. Allen Hynek and Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, the first head of the U.S. Air Force's Project Blue Book. Another highly classified U.S. study was conducted by the CIA's Office of Scientific Investigation in the latter half of 1952 in response to orders from the National Security Council. This study concluded UFOs were real physical objects of potential threat to national security. One OSI memo to the CI director in December read, The reports of incidents convince us that there is something going on that must have immediate attention. Sightings of unexplained objects at great altitudes and traveling at high speeds in the vicinity of major U.S. defense installations are of such a nature that they are not attributable to natural phenomena or any known types of aerial vehicles. I think the aliens decided not to invade us because we didn't have any cell phones or something. I don't know. Never transpired to have anything concrete. The matter was considered so urgent that OSI drafted a memorandum from the DCI to the NSC proposing that the NSC establish an investigation of UFOs as a priority project throughout the intelligence and defense research and development community. It also urged the DCI to establish an external research project of top-level scientists, now known as the Robertson Panel, to analyze the problem of UFOs. The OSI investigation was called off after the Robertson Panel's negative conclusions in January of '53. I think there were extraterrestrials, and they have taken over this country. They're called politicians. Main article, Condon Committee. A public research effort conducted by the Condon Committee for the USAF and published as the Condon Report arrived at a negative conclusion in 1968. But later on, a Saturday Night Live TV program picked up the conclusions, and we're now convinced that television owns the country. Controversy surrounded the report both before and after its release. It has been observed that the report was harshly criticized by numerous scientists, particularly at the powerful AIAA, which recommended moderate but continuous scientific work on UFOs. In an address to the AAAS, James E. McDonald said he believed science had failed to mount adequate studies of the problem and criticized the Condon Report and earlier studies by the USAF as scientifically deficient. I think I read one of those books, and it was entertaining, but not of no value. He also questioned the basis for Condon's conclusions and argued that the reports of UFOs have been laughed out of scientific court. Hello? J. Allen Hynek, an astronomer who worked as a USAF consultant from '48, sharply criticized the Condon Committee report and later wrote 2 non-technical books that set forth the case for continuing to investigate UFO reports. Ruppelt recounted his experience with Project Blue Book, a USAF investigation that preceded Condon's. Notable U.S. cases. The Roswell UFO incident, 47, involved New Mexico civilians, local law enforcement officers, and the U.S. military, the latter of whom allegedly collected physical evidence from the UFO crash. The Mantell UFO incident, January 7th, 48. It goes so far back. Betty and Barney Hill abduction, 61 was the first reported abduction incident. In the Kecksburg UFO incident, Pennsylvania, 1965, residents reported seeing a bell-shaped object crash in the area. Police officers and possibly military personnel were sent to investigate. The Travis Walton abduction case, 75. The movie Fire in the Sky, 1993, was based on this event, but greatly embellished the original account, of course. You want to sell tickets. The Phoenix Lights, March 13, 1997. 2006, O'Hare International Airport UFO sighting. The 2004 USS Nimitz UFO sighting incident, and 2014 USS Theodore Roosevelt UFO incidents. Then we have Brazil. Document on sighting of a UFO occurred on December 16, 1977 in the state of Bahia, Brazil. On October 31, 2008, the National Archives of Brazil began receiving from the Aeronautical Documentation and History Center part of the documentation of the Brazilian Air Force regarding the investigation of the appearance of UFOs in Brazil. Currently, this collection gathers cases between 1952 and 2016. You'd think something would have been brought to the attention of the general public in on the planet Earth. All kinds of stuff, but the reporting is nonsensical. The evidence is nonsensical. In Canada, the Department of National Defense has dealt with reports, sightings, and investigations of UFOs across Canada. In addition to conducting investigations into crop circles in Duhamel, Alberta, it still considers unsolved the Falcon Lake incident in Manitoba and the Shag Harbor UFO incident in Nova Scotia. Take a look at these things, and somebody could have been playing a game on Halloween. I don't know. I mean, you know. Early Canadian studies included Project Magnet and Project Second Story, supported by the Defense Research Board. France, on March 2007, the French Space Agency, CNES, published an archive of UFO sightings and other phenomena online. French studies include this one here, within CNES, French Space Agency, the longest ongoing government-sponsored investigation. About 22% of 6,000 cases studied remained unexplained. The official opinion of these reports has been neutral, stating on their frequently asked question FAQ page that their mission is fact-finding for the scientific community, not rendering an opinion. They add, they can neither prove nor disprove the extraterrestrial hypothesis, but their steering committee's clear position is that they cannot discard the possibility that some fraction of the very strange 22% of unexplained cases might be due to distant and advanced civilizations. Possibly their bias may be indicated by their use of the terms PAN, French, or UAP, English equivalent, for unidentified aerospace phenomenon, whereas UAP, as normally used by English organizations, stands for unidentified aerial phenomenon, a mere neutral term. In addition, the three heads of the studies have gone on record as stating that UFOs were real, physical flying machines beyond our knowledge, or that the best explanation for the most inexplicable cases was an extraterrestrial one. Now, in 2008, Michael Scheller, people are waffling on this issue. Okay, it's an extraterrestrial. Inexplicable, we don't know. Well, how do you know it's extraterrestrial? What parameters by which do you determine an extraterrestrial and something you don't understand? All you can say is inexplicable. Well, the best explanation is inexplicable. Therefore, it came from outer space. What's out in space? We got nothing on that. How much do these people get paid to draw these conclusions? 1 and 1. I don't know what it is. How do you add 1 up plus an unknown? It's extraterrestrial. Is that some kind of sandwich spread? These are scientists. But they're politicians first. In 2008, Michael Scheller, president of the Association of Aeronautique de France, created the Sigma Commission. Its purpose was to investigate UFO phenomena worldwide. A progress report published in May 2010 stated that the central hypothesis proposed by the COMETA, C-O-M-E-T-A, all these acronyms, report is perfectly credible. Really? In December 2012, the final report of the Sigma Commission was submitted to Scheller. Following the submission of the final report, the Sigma 2 Commission is to be formed with a mandate to continue the scientific investigation of UFO phenomena. The most notable cases of UFO sightings in France include the Valençol UFO incident in 1965 and the Transcend province case in 1981. Italy, according to some Italian UFOologists, UFOologists, I guess, the first documented case of a UFO sighting in Italy dates back 1933 to Varese. Documents at the time show that an alleged UFO crashed or landed near Vergate. Following this, Benito Mussolini created a secret group to look at it, called Cabinet RS. Alleged UFO sightings gradually increased since the war, peaking in 1978 and 2005. The total number of sightings in 47 or 18,500